Hi everyone, welcome back all of you to the physics online class, Royal Palace PU College, Jamkandi. So today dear students, we are going to start the new chapter of your second PUC, that is chapter number 13, Nuclei. Nuclei. Actually, in the previous chapter, we discussed about the atom and the different atomic models that was given by the different scientists there. Then we came to know that atom is the smallest individual particle. Yes, and but in there we also studied that the most of the mass of the atom is concentrated at its center only. Therefore, that center only called as the nucleus. Then what is the atomic nucleus? Atomic nucleus is the core of the atom. It is a core, it is a center part of the atom, and most of the mass of the atom is concentrated at the center part only, that only called as the nucleus. Yes, this point already you learnt in the case of Rutherford's atomic model also. Nucleus means it is a center part of the atom where the whole mass of the atom is to be concentrated. Okay. Then what the nucleus composite? The composition of the atomic nucleus, what it consists actually? Then we know already the atomic nucleus consists protons and the neutrons. The composition of atomic nucleus is proton and neutron, sum of proton and neutron. Okay. So, this will give us the nucleus. Then first let us talk about what is a proton. From earlier days you are studying about the proton, neutron, electron, all the concept both in a physics as well as a chemistry, right. Then proton means it is a positively charged particle present inside the nucleus. Proton is a positively charged nucleus, particle present inside the nucleus. Then what is the actually the mass of the proton is 1836 times more than the mass of electron. Remember, the mass of proton, see, it is nearly 1836 times greater than the mass of the electron. Then which is the smallest mass in the nature to be considered? That is for the electron only. Yes, and actually the mass of the proton we can represent with the mp here, mp, and that can given by 1.6727 into 10 raised to minus 27 kg. The mass of the proton can be given in terms of the kg as 1.6727 into 10 raised to minus 27 kg, or else this is also given in terms of the unit as 1.0027 unit. 72 unit, 1.00, so 72 unit, that is the mass of the proton, and charge of the proton can be given as a positive charge. It is a positive in the nature. Am I clear? Then the second particle which is present inside the nucleus is a neutron. It is neutron. As we know, neutron is a neutral particle, it has no charge, but the mass of the neutron is greater compared to the mass of the proton. Therefore, mass of the neutron is given by 1.6749 into 10 raised to minus 27 kg. This is in terms of the kg, and if you want to write, that is 1.00866 unit, that is atomic mass unit. Just we can also call it is unit. Okay, and mn is a mass of the neutron here, and as I told, charge of the neutron will be what? 0 here, because it has no charge, it is a neutral particle. Am I clear? Right. Then now let us move to the next point, the characteristic property of the nucleus. The nucleus can be represented mainly by the two number. One is called atomic number, another one is called atomic mass number. The first one is atomic number. This atomic number, the atomic number of the nuclei can be represented with the help of the letter called Z. In a nucleus, the Z represent the number of the, that is atomic number. Then how to define atomic number? This is the total number of the protons present inside the nucleus. Atomic number is given by the total number of the protons present inside the nucleus, right? That gives me the atomic number of the respective element and respective nucleus. If the atom is neutral, assume the atom is neutral, in that atom the atomic number can also be represented with the help of total number of the electrons. Am I clear? See, generally atomic number means total number of the protons present inside the nucleus. But if the atom is neutral, the total number of the electron can also represent atomic number. Therefore, in the nucleus, the atomic number is represented by a letter Z. Then few of the example I can take here. For example, atomic number of Z for hydrogen is equal to, for a hydrogen, Z value is equal to how much? 1 only. And if you take for the helium, the Z value, that is equal to 2, because 2 protons are present there. Like this, which element, which atom we are considering, for that the protons number will be changing, that only gives the atomic number. Here it is denoted by the Z letter. Am I clear? Yes. Then next one is the atomic mass number. Atomic mass number. Atomic mass number is denoted by a letter A here. What is atomic mass number? It is the sum of total number of protons and neutrons present inside the nucleus. The atomic mass number is given by the sum of total protons and the neutrons present inside the nucleus, that gives the atomic mass number. Yes, and this is denoted by a letter A here. Then for example again, let us take what is the mass number for a hydrogen. For the hydrogen we know that the mass number is equal to again 1 only, because in the hydrogen only proton is present, no neutron, the neutron number is 0 there. So if you add also 0 plus 1 means 1. Then in the case of helium, for a helium, if I take atomic mass number is taken 4 here, because 2 protons and 2 neutrons are present here. Yes, respective to that, if every atom are different, for example oxygen, nitrogen, uranium. Like that, if you are taking every, so that the atom will be having different atomic mass number. Okay? Yes. Then moving to the next point, that is neutron number. Neutron number. How to give the neutron number? See, we know the total number of the nucleons, and one more point remember, protons and the neutrons together inside the nucleus, we call them as the nucleons. They are called as the nucleons. Then see, here we have the sum of proton and the, so what, neutrons, that gives me A value. Then here we have the Z, that is only the, so number of the protons. Then if you take the difference between these two, what number we get here? Neutron number will be obtained. So neutron number is the difference between, it is the difference between the atomic mass number and the atomic number of the given nucleus. For a given nucleus, the difference between atomic mass number and atomic number gives the total number of the neutrons present in the nucleus. Therefore, neutron number n can be represented as A minus Z. This is a what? Difference between atomic mass number and the atomic number here. Okay. Then tell me, for the again example I can say, for the for hydrogen, if I take, n is equal to, as I told, in the hydrogen mass number is also 1 and the atomic number is also 1. Then if you take 1 minus 1, what will be the value? That is 0. So only I told, in the hydrogen there is no neutron. Okay. Then for a helium, then n is equal to, see, A minus Z. A is how much? 4, and Z for the helium nucleus is 2, then neutron number is also 2 here. Like that, for a respective nuclei, we can calculate the number of the neutrons present in the nucleus. Next, so these are what about the basic concept of the nucleus and the components or the particles present inside the nucleus. Then basically, a nucleus of an atom is represented as, nucleus is represented by a letter X here. Then if you use the letter X, how to represent that? It can be represented like this. For it, X means nucleus of an atom, A is the atomic mass number, Z is the atomic number. Or in some text they can also represent like this. If here Z number is there, here atomic mass number will be given. Yes, and for this I can use again the example of the helium. For the helium nucleus, here I am using He, that is X means nucleus of the helium, and I can represent here 2 and 4. 4 is atomic mass number, 2 is the atomic number, right? Like that we can write for the different element also. Okay. Then now, based on the number of the protons, atomic mass number and the neutrons, the nuclei are classified into basically 3 different types. First one, isotopes. Isotopes. What are isotopes? Yes, hydrogen has a 3 isotope, oxygen has a 3 isotope, and if you come, carbon has a 5 isotopes. What are isotopes? Isotopes are the nuclei. These are the nuclei which have same atomic number but different atomic mass number. Are you getting my point? See, so isotopes are the nuclei. These are the nuclei which have same atomic number but different mass number. Then they are having if number of the protons and number of electrons are same here, right? So that means what? the proton number and here electron is the same only. When they have same proton, then same number of electrons are present. If all the nuclei have the same electron, their chemical property also remains the same only. But remember, these isotopes will be having different physical properties, different physical property. But in the periodic table, the isotopes are placed in a one place only. They are located in a one place because these are the group of one nucleus, that is one element only, but showing different mass number, atomic number remains the same. Yes, and for an example of isotopes, example for isotope, for a hydrogen we have three isotopes. One is 1H1, this is called a proton or hydrogen only we can call, and second one 1H2, this is called a deuterium, and next 1H3, this is called tritium, right. And see here, you can observe the isotopes that every nuclei has the same atomic number. Here also 1, 1, 1, but the mass number of the nuclei is different. Such the nuclei are called as isotopes. Okay. Then for oxygen, if you want oxygen, that is 8, it is having 3 isotopes, oxygen 16, 17 and 18. So these are the 3 nuclei which have the same atomic number but a different mass number. They are called isotopes. Okay. Then next type of the nuclei are isobars. I hope, dear students, you are understanding the concept of this nucleus. Okay. Then next are isobars. Yes, what are isobars? Isobars, which are the nuclei of different atomic number but same atomic mass number. These are the nuclei. So nuclei of a different element also. These are the nuclei of different element which have same atomic mass number but a different atomic number. They are called isobars. Then see, if I take the example of the hydrogen, that is tritium and helium, you can see that these two nuclei are different only. These two are different nuclei. Both are having same atomic mass number but they are differ in the atomic number. So such the nuclei are called as the isobars. And see, here you can observe that electron number is different. When the nuclei have different electrons, then their chemical property also different. They may be having same physical properties but chemical properties are different. Therefore, they are situated in a different place in the periodic table. Okay. Right. The next type of the nuclei are isotones. Again, these are also nuclei of the different atom. These are the nuclei of the different atom which have same neutron number. These have a same neutron number. Yes, they are called as the isotones. These are called as isotones. Then example for the isotone is lithium 3, 9 and beryllium 4, 9. Okay. So when you see here, see in the case of the lithium 9 minus 3, that gives, sorry, okay. So lithium 38 and the beryllium 49, both are the nuclei of the different atom here, but see here atomic number is also different, atomic mass number also different, but what number remains the same? The neutron number remains the same here. So when you cross check here, you can write the neutron number in the lithium, that means 8 minus 3, that gives me 5. Neutron number is 5 here. And if you come with the beryllium, there also 9 minus 4 means that gives me 5. Then you can see that the nuclei of the different atom which have different atomic number, different mass number, but same neutron number. Such a pair of nuclei are called as the isotones here. Yes? Okay. So this gives me an idea about the different types of the nuclei based on the same number of the the atomic number, mass number and the neutron number. Yes? And see, now let us move to the next concept of the chapter, that is size of nucleus. Size of nucleus. The size of the nucleus is very small, and remember the shape of the atom we are considering as a spherical. If the atom is spherical, then definitely the nucleus is also spherical, and the radius of the atom, if I consider that as a r here, r, remember the volume of the nuclei, that is a 4 by 3 pi r cube, is directly proportional to the mass number. When you are talking about the size of the nucleus, remember the size of the nucleus, that means volume of the nucleus, is directly proportional to the atomic mass number. Am I clear? This formula you need to solve and find the size of the different nuclei. Then how to get the formula here? If you want to remove, this is all terms are constant here. Then if you want to write that, RQ will be is equal to that is directly proportional to the mass number here. Then R, if you want to write R, then cube root of the A should be taken. Then R is equal to R naught into, that is A raised to 1 by 3 will be taken. This is an important formula that brings the relation between the size, that is the radius of the nucleus, with the atomic mass number here. Okay, and where R naught is the constant, its value will be is equal to 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 15 meter for almost all the nuclei. That value can be, it is changing from 1.2 to 1.3 Fermi meter or femtometer, you can consider. Am I clear? So this is the relation between the R naught and the atomic mass number here. If in your competitive, that is like a KCET, the question, if they give the mass number, ask you to find the size or the radius, easily you can use this formula and find out its radius of the nuclei. Okay? Yes. Then moving to the next point, that is nuclear mass and density. Nuclear mass and density. What is the nuclear mass? The actual mass of the nucleus is called nuclear mass. The actual mass of the nucleus is called nuclear mass, and this nuclear mass is given by, this is represented by a letter capital M here, and this mass can be obtained by the sum of mass of the proton and the mass of the neutron here. How to get the nuclear mass? The nuclear mass is obtained by the sum of the total mass of the proton plus the total mass of the neutron. Then see, in the given nucleus, Z number of protons are there and A minus Z number of the neutrons are there, and mass of every proton is MP, mass of every neutron is Mn. how to get the mass of the, that is nuclear mass here? The nuclear mass is represented by a letter capital M that can be given by a formula Z into Mp plus A minus Z into Mn. A minus Z into Mn. That means it is a sum of total mass of the proton and total mass of the neutron that gives me the nuclear mass here. Is that clear? Okay. Then moving to the next, the nuclear density. Density means in your first PU class only we learned that density of any quantity is the ratio of the mass per volume. Then nuclear density means it is the ratio of the nuclear mass per unit volume of the nucleus. Therefore, nuclear density is equal to nuclear mass per nuclear volume here. Okay, and we know that nucleus has a very small size. It is of the order of 10 raised to minus 15 meter only. Therefore, if the nuclear volume is small, then we know that nuclear density is heavier. Remember, the nuclear density is heavier and this is considered to be almost constant for all the different type of the nuclei. Then the constant value of the nuclear density that can be taken is equal to 2.3 into 10 raised to 17 kg per meter cube. Remember, the nucleus has a very small size, hence the nuclear density is heavier, and for all different nuclei the nuclear density is almost considered to be the constant. That constant value of the density is 2.3 into 10 raised to 17 kg per meter cube. Am I clear, dear students? See, up to now what are the points we discussed? These all are about nucleus, proton and the types of the nuclei based on the same number of proton, atomic mass and the neutron. Then about the nucleus size and next nuclear mass and the density. Now we are moving forward with the concept nuclear force. It is a very important and one fixed question will come on this concept, that is mention the properties of the nuclear force or write any three properties of the nuclear force. Any question may be asked here. Okay. Then let us talk about nuclear force. Nuclear force. In the PU first year, that too in the first chapter, we discussed the fundamental forces in a nature. In that, the strong nuclear force is also one of the fundamental force. Then nuclear force means the strong attractive force, the strongest attractive force which is holding protons and neutrons tightly inside the nucleus, that is called nuclear force. Are you getting my point? Nuclear force means what? The strongest attractive force which is holding protons and neutrons tightly inside the nucleus. See, as you see the nucleus, here what I told, proton and neutrons are present, and the mass of the proton is small compared to the mass of the neutron. But these two are holding with the strong attractive force, that force only called nuclear force here. Okay. Then in the nucleus, if a force will exist between the proton, it is called PP force. PP force means the strong nuclear force between proton and the proton. Then if it exists between neutron and neutron, that is NN force. If it exists between proton and the neutron, that is a PN force. Like this only we represent the nuclear force. Okay. Then now let us discuss about the characteristics of Characteristics of nuclear force. Nuclear force. So these are very important, right? The first characteristics, what I can say, this is the strongest force in the nature. Already we know this. Nuclear force is the strongest force in the nature. Strongest force in the nature. Right? Second one, this is a short range force. See, nucleus means what is the size? It is of the order 10 raised to minus 15 meter. Then it exists between the proton and the neutrons. That means a very, very short range force. This is a short range force. Short range force. Next property, it is a charge independent force. It does not depend on the charge, because see here it is existing between the neutron also. Then can you tell me neutron is having any charge? No charge here. Therefore, it is a charge independent force. Charge independent force. Okay. Then next property is, it does not obey the inverse square law. Does not obey inverse square law. See, in the case of gravitational force and the electromagnetic force, we discussed F is equal to G into M1 M2 upon R square, like that formula we discussed. Their force is related inversely with the square of the distance between the particles. But here that law is not involved, or that is not, does not obey the inverse square law. Then next one, this force is saturated force. This is a saturated force. That means it can act only for a certain range of the proton and the neutron. Within the nucleus, certain range this force is acting on the proton as well as neutron. So it is called saturated force. Yes. And next one is, it is spin dependent. It is a spin dependent force. That means on what factor it depends? Spin, the orientation of the proton and the neutron, on that it depends here. Okay. And if you write the order of the gravitational, electromagnetic and the strong nuclear force, if I write Fg as a gravitational and Fe as a electromagnetic and Fs as a strong nuclear, that can be given by the order, that is 1 is to 10 raised to 36 is to 10 raised to 38 times. This is the order of the, so the ratio of the gravitational force, electromagnetic force and the strong nuclear force. Okay. These are the few important characteristic properties of the nuclear force. I hope, dear students, all the points what we discussed are clear to you. Yes. So keep on watching the video. Thank you for watching my videos.